Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Kim. Wow, what a house you got going on there.
I know, isn't it gorgeous?
All right, well, we don't have anybody in here quite yet, but that's okay. For those of you watching and maybe you haven't met Kim yet, Kim is my partner. She does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff because she doesn't usually have a hard time getting her to come on camera. However, we have been discussing for Kim to do a QuickBooks Q&A at least once a month. So I know that we did get at least a couple comments recently. Encouraging, that's the word, encouraging Kim to do a QuickBooks video. Or a QuickBooks call. So anyway, if you have any QuickBooks questions, if you have any accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, business, whatever questions, we are here to help you. And if not, we will have some discussion maybe about just accounting in general, maybe some of the things that we have seen come through with our clients, problems that you may have. So we'll go with that for now until we get some other people in the call and or in the chat. Right now we don't have anybody watching, so I was really, really bad today, Kim. I did not. Jamesy, man, you are obnoxious with that water. I did not post about the call until about an hour ago.
Oops.
Yep. The thing is, last week I made all of the thumbnails for the month, so anyway, let's see. So if you are on eBay, one of the things, Kimmery, hi Kimmery, welcome. One of the things that I've noticed in doing the taxes and looking at people's books over the last 4.5 months, is that people were completely forgetting to get their eBay fees.
Yep.
So that was a big one. In fact, I even had somebody reach out to me this morning, Kim. They were saying that, does eBay take shipping out before they send the 1099? I'm like, no, they don't take anything out. In fact,
I think a lot of people don't even know where to find the information.
If they don't, they have not been watching my calls. It's probably a question that I answer on a weekly basis. But if you are here and you don't know the answer to that, if you go to your performance and then sales tab, it's the fourth number from the left, or the next to the last one from the right. And that it says, what does it say? I say it wrong, and then people are like, well, I don't see that. It says selling costs. Selling costs. The number that you want is your selling costs.
Yes.
So the way that I teach to do that is, once we get through the end of the month, and I do the live on here the first Wednesday of the month, then at that point, you go back, you choose last month, and grab your total sales number and your selling costs number. And that number, that selling cost number, that includes all of your store subscriptions, your
Labels you
shipping,
order,
your netted refunds. It includes everything that you have spent money with eBay in order to make your sales.
right?
So you need to get that number, and you don't need to separate them all out. Just grab the one lump sum, keep it easy.
Okay. And one of the things that we're going to be doing a live about is a lot of people are not realizing that if you're using QBO, you're not, your bank pulls in those numbers, that doesn't include those fees. So you have to make a monthly adjustment or have your bookkeeper make a monthly adjustment to account for those costs. Because yes, it's easier to do it at the end of the year, but you don't know your actual you don't know what you're actually earning each month. So it's better to do it on a monthly basis.
And so we're gonna do an actual. I'm gonna give Kim access because, okay, for those of you guys that don't know, QBO, that's QuickBooks Online, and apparently they're going to just online. And you guys know, if you've seen any of my videos, I'm not a fan of QuickBooks, but I know
I'm here.
a bunch of you that are, and that is why Kim is here, so that she can handle that side of things. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give her access to my store and my bank account so that she can see exactly what and how, like from the beginning. She's going to set it up into QuickBooks exactly how it should be set up. That way we can instruct you all on what you need to do in order to set up your QuickBooks correctly. Or maybe you decide that, whoa, that's way too much work for me, and you can hand it off to Kim. But at least then you'll know exactly what you're handing off to.
Yeah.
Figgy Flips is in the chat and says, refunds confuse me, especially if I get the item back. Well, that is actually pretty easy. So because we are not retailers in the sense of new items in multiple quantities, and I mean like your Walmarts and your JCPenney's and your, any big retailer type store, if we can resell the item, then we don't worry about the refund. The netted fees and the return labels is in our selling cost number, which I was just saying that we just want to grab that whole selling cost number from eBay. So if you get a refund, your return label is going to be in there. Your netted fees is going to be in there, and you can resell the item. If you get an item back that you cannot resell, and this applies mostly to media sellers, they'll get books or they'll get DVDs and CDs back that were damaged, or an item, or maybe it's jewelry that got shipped, and when the buyer received it, it was damaged. The necklace was broken, the earrings were broken, and it can't be resell. Those things you can mark for returns and allowances.
Yes.
The other stuff, my personal, I had a pretty in-depth conversation with a client yesterday about this. what is your take on, because I never want to put my moral values in on something like this, on anything to do with taxes. I want to go by the book. But the way that I see it, or my understanding is, because we are not selling multiple quantities of items, we don't have a going price for an item.
Right.
So, for example, Walmart sells a t-shirt for $20 and they sell 500,000 of these t-shirts for $20, and then they mark them all 50%. Well, then now they can take an allowance on the 50% that they marked off. They get down to where, they've got, I don't know, 5,000 of them left, and they decide to liquidate it. They can take an allowance on that. They get a return on any of those shirts. Then there's an amount that they can take for refunds and damaged items. But we don't have that because we don't have that history with a single item.
For refunds, I would just take, for refunds for damages, I would just take the cost that you sold it for.
Right.
And like you said, if it's going back in your stock to resell, then you don't get to take the refund. I mean, if you have to reduce the cost of it because it was returned, then you may be able to take an allowance, but that's getting into real tricky areas. Because you're being you're giving the client back their full amount that they paid you, and it's coming back to you, or you already have it in hand. So you're not really losing out.
Right, because we can turn around and sell it. Well, what we would be losing out on would be the return label, which we're taking.
Right.
And the fees that we didn't get credited back, which we're taking.
Right.
So we're not losing out on that. We're getting the return label. We're getting the fee that we didn't get back. And we have the item back that we have expensed for inventory.
Right.
To resell. But I can't say that this item is $20.
Right.
I can only say that I'm listing it for $20. And then if you want to buy it, you say, okay, I agree that it's worth $20. It's a used item. Or I don't agree that it's worth $20, but I'll give you 10 for it. Will you take 10? And then when I say I'll take 10, then that's the price.
Okay, this is where you get kind of finicky. Like you were saying earlier, you bought something for $1.20 and you're selling it for $25. Your cost is that $1.20, and you're making the difference up in that. So your allowance is that $1.20,
which we're taking in the
right
and writing off our inventory.
Right.
But I think this is pretty healthy that we are having this conversation and on live platform, so that you guys can kind of see how.
I gotta mute for a second. UPS is here. My dogs are going ballistic. Give me 1 second.
So that you guys can kind of see what it's like. When we are trying to decide how to best inform you of how something that should be handled, we read the Internal Revenue Code. Then we go down the rabbit hole of all of the adjustments that they did to that particular line, which could take a week just to find all the adjustments that they've done. And that's if it's a relatively new rule. But But even when we get to that point, it's still very open to interpretation.
Right. That's why it's called the IRC.
Right. It's a code. It's not a law. It's a code that we have to follow.
And it's adjusted. It's adjusted so many times and applied in so many instances. That was not my favorite class. But
I mean, it's my thing. So yeah. It's of our particular team. We, I love digging into the rules and doing the research, and then Kim and I feed off of each other and decide together like the best route to handle a particular situation when it's deep in the shades of gray. We're really not, there's no cut and dry answer, and we have to give you our best
scenario.
Yeah.
So Figgy Flips, I think the answer to what you're trying to ask is, if you're getting the item back and you can resell it, don't worry about a refund, or don't worry about applying the refund. If you're getting the item back and it's damaged, you want to note that somewhere in your inventory tracking that you've written off that amount of that item.
And I
hope that helps. If not, let us know.
I think I am. Nope, that's not the right book. Oh, wait, is it right here? Nope, it's not right here. Anyway, what I did, I had one yesterday that, okay, I go on record as saying that I did not do what tech says to do. And we do not, we always take the refund. We always send the label. We always get the item back. Yeah, well, yesterday I didn't do that. I had an item. It got shipped to the customer. I don't know how in the world it got broke, but she sent me a picture before she said anything else that showing that the item was broken. Then she said that it had arrived broke. I knew that she had just gotten it. I was like, okay, well, I could send her the label and have her send it back. And then I've got here this other broken item in my house, and I never want to list my craft lot anyway. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and just let it go and sent her the refund. In this particular case, I felt it was good customer service. I felt like she wasn't trying to get one over on me. But I have to find a way to remember to go in and take that as a refund. And it was $15. It's negligible in the grand scheme of things. But $15
can add up.
Right. I have a notebook that, and I don't know what I did with it.
You cleaned your office yesterday. Yeah, you cleaned your office yesterday.
Don't say that, because it doesn't look like it's clean. But anyway, I have a notebook over there that's got a bunch of pocket folders in it, and the very first pocket folder has all of my receipts. So one of the returns that I got within the last couple weeks, because I already did my stuff for last month, was a return that I couldn't resell. And so what I did was I took the this particular buyer actually put the paper in, the return authorization paper in. And so I kept that paper and wrote the amounts that were on it and stuck it in my receipts folder, so that when I go to do my books, I can enter that amount. So that's how I did the one thing that I have recently that came back to me that I couldn't sell. It happens so rarely that it's kind of weird that it's happened twice so close together. The other option that you could do is maybe cut the label out, save the label until you get until you do your books. You could use the label as your receipt. Or like everything else that I talked to you guys about, you have your little receipt book. You just write your little note, whether it's an actual receipt book or it's a sticky pad or whatever.
Notebook,
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Little spiral notebook.
Even on the your spreadsheet, you get where you track your inventory purchases on it. You can write in there, refunded such and such eBay sale.
Right, and that's what I figured. And that's what I do once I actually update my books. But since I only do that once a month,
yeah,
I need a placeholder to remind me to do it.
But then again, if you're using QuickBooks, there's a whole other way it's got to be done.
Okay. Do you want to discuss that?
Okay. You should have a sales where you track your sales on your profit and loss. Okay, let's go back here. You should have accounts set up in your chart of accounts with sales or income. You should have your selling costs. You should have your inventory costs, all that. Under your contra account, which means it's an opposite account of what the main account is. So your sales account is your main account. Your contra account is going to be your refunds and allowances. So when you look at a P&L, you're going to have your sales, then you're going to have a refunds and allowances account, and then you're going to have a net or a gross of what that is. So that contra account of the refunds and allowances is going to subtract out in that gross profit number.
That's a really good point. I was recently talking with, I don't remember if it was last week's call, but I was going over the Schedule C basically, and want to figure out what to consider. Was my business profitable or not? And I think I'll bring up a Schedule C right quick so that we can just briefly talk about.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay.
There is a Schedule C profit, and there's a P&L profit.
True. So
while in your QuickBooks and your accounting paperwork, you may be showing a profit, your tax return, you want to show the lowest amount of profit as possible.
Right. So that's where this particular thought process came in.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my screen right quick.
Maybe.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I froze. Am I frozen?
Not on my end.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on. Let me see if. Oh, no. I'm completely frozen on my side.
There you go.
Do you still hear me?
Yep, you're breaking up though. I think it's when you tried to share, so don't share. Send it to me and I'll share it. Okay, while we're waiting for Cheryl to come back, does anybody else have any questions or maybe some suggestions you'd like to see some videos on about QuickBooks? Oh, let's see. Yeah, she had to get off from it. She'll be right back. She can get back on. Let me see what she's saying. So, Kimmery and Figgy, what do you do for reselling? Kimmery, what kind of stuff do you resell? Okay, she says she doesn't know what's happening. She's trying to get back on. Her computer's locked up. She's gonna try to reboot her computer. Oh, cool. Vintage clothing. Do you have a specific era you focus on or just... Oh, cool. That is cool. I love a lot of the 20s clothing, especially because that's when the flappers and everything were out. So that's really cool. Do you guys have any questions while she's trying to reboot? No worries, we'll take a break. She's rebooting, so we can take a break for a minute. I'll be right back too. Jazzy. My pups got their pup box. They're trying to get me to open it for them. We'll open it after Mommy's off her call. Come here. Let's say hi. Come here, Diva. Come on. Up. Say hi. Here, I'll let you guys see my messy office. I just got back from vacation, so it's a mess right now. Yes, Jasmine, that's your box. Leave your box alone. Leave it. Jasmine Grace, out. Hey. This one's Levi. This one's Kane. And Jasmine's under my desk chasing lights. Come on, out. Jasmine, out. Out. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Are you guys using QuickBooks, or are you just not? Or are you just using Cheryl's spreadsheet? Cheryl's saying she's still gonna get her internet back up. I asked her if she wanted me to tell you guys we'll try to do it again either later today or maybe next week. She's still trying. She's trying to get back in here, so she said to just hold off a few more minutes. Okay. Come on, go lay down.
I'm
There,
coming.
there she is.
Sort of. I'm trying here.
It's okay, huh? We all have computer issues.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what did I miss?
I asked them what they sold on eBay or what they're reselling, and Kimmy told me about her. Kimmery told me about her vintage clothing.
Oh, nice.
She had to go let the dog out or get the dog in. I'm not sure if she's back yet or not.
Oh, so it's Kimmery. Now we have the answer to the age-old Gen X question: who let the dogs out? Okay, what in the world is going on here?
So apparently, this is what my dogs were barking at the beginning of the video.
Oh, hey, there I am.
Hey, what?
All right, I'm back. Whew.
Should I send you the link for the computer I bought on eBay for a really good price?
No. No, my computer is great. I have not had it turned off in a while though.
It probably needed to rest.
I probably should have
out of the tank. Hopefully not a snapping turtle. Those things hurt.
Okay, so I don't understand why I'm so zoomed in.
I wish I could get mine to zoom in so you didn't have this big blur back here.
There, that's better. Well, it wasn't a cheap camera.
Yep. I remember.
But I like it. All right, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. Kim, I'm sorry for leaving you alone. But yay, I'm back and now I'm lost.
Okay, what we were talking about is the difference between tax return profit and
oh, right. And I was going to show you guys. You were talking about P&Ls and tax return profit, and I wanted to show you guys basically, if you're looking at your taxes, what to consider as profit and what to not consider as profit.
Yeah.
So this is what got me into trouble the last time. But present, share screen. Window. There we go. All right. So when you're looking at the Schedule C, and let's blow this up a little bit, you've got your gross receipts, and this follows right along with what we've been talking about. So you've got your gross receipts. So this is all of the sales. And when I say all of the sales, I mean all of the sales that you are responsible for, all of the income that you are responsible for. If you're getting a 1099, it's much more cut and dry. If you're not getting a 1099, then different platforms react different ways. For eBay, it is everything that was collected by eBay from the customer minus the sales tax. That's what would come on your 1099. Okay. So gross receipts, sales for however your business is, whatever your business is, returns and allowances that we've been talking about, and depending on your business, it depends on how you handle that. So that gets subtracted from the gross. Then then your cost of goods sold, which is this section back here. And for those of us with under $26 million businesses, it's this should be a 0, and then whatever our materials and supplies are, and then this should be a 0, and then this would be our platform fees. So this is our platform fees here. This is everything that it took to get your item from you to the customer. And then this section is all of your inventory purchases, right? So when we go back up here to this top section, that number from the second half goes in box 4, and here's our gross profit. So my point is that your whether or not your business was profitable is this number right here. Okay? All of the rest of this stuff is us using the Internal Revenue Code to our best advantage. If you have a profit in this box, then you did good. If you don't have a profit in this box, you probably spent too much on inventory. Okay?
And if you're using QuickBooks, those should be within at least $1,000 of each other. If everything is recorded right, if everything is recorded right, you should be spot on. It should match. But if you're within at least $1,000, you're good.
So, and here's the difference. If you are in eBay and you have a discrepancy at this point, it's because you haven't gotten a 1099 yet, and you're not using their number. Because I have done my due diligence and trying to figure out what they're adding and subtracting other than the sales tax. And yeah, I really need to have a conversation with someone on the back end. So if there's an eBay person listening and someone would like to have a conversation with me about the backside and how the back end of eBay and how the finances and the invoice and stuff gets put together, I would relish that conversation.
Me too.
I would eat that stuff up, eBay. So, all the devices are always listening. eBay, you out there? You hear me? Come tell me. I'd love to have the conversation with you guys.
I also want to bring up a point, and this is one of the points we're going to bring up in our live that we're going to do this specifically on QuickBooks. Please, 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 please do not use the eBay link for QuickBooks. You're going to get double entry, especially if your bank account is linked to your QuickBooks, which with QuickBooks Online, pretty much have to have it linked. So please, 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 please do not use the eBay add-on, because it does not do it correctly.
Kim has already gone through several, three. Well, there are several, three. Several equals three. Several clients' QuickBooks that are connected to eBay and their bank account. So she already has figured out firsthand some of the things that you shouldn't do. But based on what we were talking about at the very beginning of the call, by myself giving her access to my eBay and my bank account, she's going to be able to come up with best practice and do a training on how to set up your QuickBooks from scratch.
Yes. It's also not going to be just eBay, because Cheryl does Poshmark. She does a couple other reseller sites. So I want to learn all the nuances from all those different sites. Especially, is it Mercari? That one's
yeah. So you're telling me that I have to go list a few things on Mercari and try and sell it just so that you can. So yeah, I figured out this stuff for the workbook side of things, but we also want to figure out the stuff for QuickBooks for those of you that want to use QuickBooks, or if you are in the position that I'm currently in and I'm expanding my business to the point where probably within the next few months, I'm going to hand over my bookkeeping to Kim, because it's just going to make it. I'm going to do what I do best and she's going to do what she does best, right? So what I teach all the time, when it comes time that your business can afford to pay someone to do the bookkeeping, if it is growing in a way that there are multiple streams of income and it takes you more time to do your bookkeeping with that cost than it does to, you would make more money if you spent more time in your business instead of on your business. So that's kind of where I'm getting to. So even though we run an accounting firm, right? We can do all of the things between Kim and I concentrate on the consulting and the teaching and the helping you guys understand and grow your business. She concentrates on all the stuff that, the bookkeeping and the payroll and the
helping you get benefits, helping you get ready for taxes, helping you get it.
Stuff.
I can help with them.
Strategy. And then we work together when it comes to doing the other things. So I do taxes, she does taxes, she does bookkeeping. I don't do the bookkeeping, but I do go over your books. I will help you do your bookkeeping. And then when we have questions regarding something that a client has brought us, we work together on those things to come up with a best practice and a best answer for you guys.
And the cool thing about QuickBooks Online right now, I used to hate it when QuickBooks Online first came out. It was the worst thing there could. They had a good idea, but oh my gosh, nobody wanted to touch it. None of us in the accounting world, bookkeeping world, wanted to touch it. It was horrible. Over the last, God, I think it's been active for about 15 years now. So over these last 5 years, maybe, they've really been listening to the industry, been listening to everybody, and they've come a long way with it. I am to the point where I like it now. It's not for everybody. I'm the office manager accountant for my full-time gig. My W-2 gig is for office manager accountant for a small construction company. I would never move them over to QuickBooks Online because it can't do all the things that I need it to do. So there's different resellers, easy. Small mom and pop operations, easy. QuickBooks is easy, and it's the best thing in the world. Or the best. I mean, there's other software out there. There's Xero and that stuff. I can't say it's the best thing in the world. It's the easiest to use.
For software, for a major software that will help you do all things accounting.
Yeah. And it could be that you just, okay, I'm ready to do this. I want to spend more time on my business. Help me streamline it. And you say, hey, Kim, help me get my QuickBooks QBO set up. Cool, we can do that. And then I will show you, we will set up everything to where you log in and it pulls all your stuff in. And then either monthly or quarterly, I would go in and review everything. Depend on how often you wanted your stuff. So it's not, I'm going to take your books and you'll never see anything in them. No, I fully believe that you need to know, oh, wait a minute, this $10 transaction from this place is for what, Kim? You will know what every transaction in your account is regarding. So, and you will know how to go into, I don't do past 10 o'clock at night. I won't take 10, and I'm getting to the point where if I have to work on a weekend, I'm taking a day off during the week. So I'm trying to claim my weekends back now that tax season's over. But I want you, as the owner of that business and owner of that QuickBooks account, to be able to go in there, oh, my bank is requesting this report. You will know how to go in there and pull that report and send it to your bank from the company file. You will know, okay, what goes into this blah, blah, blah account? Okay, you will know what goes into that account. You will know all your transactions and where they're at. I'm not one of those bookkeepers who wants the owner not to know anything, because that's where conspiracies happen. That's where fraud happens. That's where I'm not placing myself in that position. If you tell me, hey, Kim, I want nothing to do with it, you will sign an agreement saying you want nothing to do with it. You want me to do all the work.
And I will fight you with it. Not Kim. I will fight you as the client.
Yeah.
Because my goal is not to make you do it. My goal is for you to feel comfortable understanding what is going on.
Right.
So while I'll do the teaching side up until QuickBooks. That's Kim. We want to make sure that you guys understand everything that is going on financially within your business. You can't run a successful business if you don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
So I personally, if you want to fight me on, I want to be completely hands off and I don't want to know and just, I'm going to say then I don't think that I'm the best fit for you. Because
there's a liability on us.
Yes. There's a liability that I don't want to take.
Right.
Nobody is going to be able to come back on either one of us for clients that I'm involved in and say, I didn't know about this or you didn't tell me about that. That's not going to happen with, it's 100% open book, and that's the only way it will be. If you want otherwise, then you probably need to go find somebody else to do your books for you.
Yeah. My insurance company requires either I have to provide full disclosure. So if my errors and omissions won't cover if I don't have a contract stating that information. So.
Well, I apologize for the technical difficulties I have. We've got like 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left. Are there any questions? There's only a couple people watching right now, but I never know who those couple of people are. So if anybody has any questions, we've got a couple minutes to answer them. Otherwise, I am working on I was hoping to do it tomorrow, but it doesn't look like it's going to be tomorrow. So, quick bit of housekeeping. I have someone coming that is an investment consultant, I guess would be the right term. And he's going to come and answer all your questions. So I will make sure that I get that put out ahead of time. Not like today. And we will get put out ahead of time when Kim is going to do her QuickBooks call. And we're going to have that be ongoing as well. And then as far as the investment consultant, if you want to know what you can do with the money that you're paying your children, if you want to know what you should do with money for your retirement, whatever you want to know as far as investing money into IRAs, stocks, that sort of thing, he's going to be here to answer your questions. So I look forward to that. Be thinking of those questions, get them written down so that you are available to ask them when the time comes.
I'd like to ask so we can kind of nail down what kind of videos we do for the QuickBooks, because there's just so much information. If you guys have stuff you want to learn about, to let us know, either Cheryl through
just put it in the comments below. Just stick your questions in. If you got QuickBooks questions, if you want to reach out to Kim, you can do info@sabaservices.net. Let me go. There we go. info@sabaservices.net.
That comes to both of us.
That comes to both of us. You can leave comments down below. If this is helpful content for you, if you like coming for the questions and answers, if you like having the ability to do that sort of thing, if you want me to continue doing it or not, leave comments, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, wherever all those things are, and do the whole thing, do all the things. And we will see you back next Wednesday. I will be here for this call, and I will be able to let you know between now and then when Kim is going to do her call and when we're going to get the investment counselor on to do a Q&A with you guys too. All right?
Okay.
Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks if you're watching the replay. We appreciate you too.
Yep.
And we look forward to next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.